Welcome back to another self love chat. Today's conversation is for the woman who wants more. Drop a me in the chat or the comments if you're watching the replay if you are ready for more. Not because she's ungrateful for what she has, not because she's lazy, not because she's confused, but because she knows there's more available to her. And yeah, right when it's time to move, to decide to take that next step, you hesitate. Have you ever felt that? Have you?
Yes, definitely. You
Mhm.
get to a space where you're almost there and you're finally like something just holds you back that it can be the smallest thing that has keeps you hesitating.
100%, me same. There's times where I'm like, I know I have like all of these things, but I'm afraid. So I'm afraid to do them. I'm afraid. And then when I do them, they don't seem so scary. That's what I tell my clients. If you just do it, it doesn't feel so scary.
Yeah,
But it doesn't help in the beginning when you're trying to get that momentum going.
that's facts.
And if that's you, I want you to know something right away. There is nothing wrong with you. This conversation is not about fixing you. It's about helping you understand what's really happening beneath the hesitation. Because I want you to know that you are not the only one that feels that way, that has felt that way, or that will ever feel that way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you're definitely not the only one. Definitely not the only one. And
No.
before we go any further, we just want to slow the moment down. If you're watching this, just take 3 deep breaths with us in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just releasing the weight of everything from today, allowing yourself to feel safe in this moment. No multitasking, no trying to get it right. Just notice that you are here right now in this moment. This is a safe space to listen, to feel, and to be honest with yourself. And we invite you here today, and we're glad to have you here. Comment below and let us know how that made you feel in this moment, really showing up for yourself, being here.
Yeah, 100%. That breathing just always shifts my mood. I need to do that more often.
Sets that nervous system over real quick,
It does.
real quick.
Get anxious and it's like, I'll be before we hop on, you have the weight of the world, I'm a mom and I run a business and I just got back from going grocery shopping and starting dinner and getting the kids ready and school, and my oldest is getting ready for buying her very first apartment for the next school season, so I'm having to look at that and I'm like, so it's like just having that moment to have that breath where you can just get out of your head and back into your body. That's why I
Yeah,
love Mondays. I love our self-love chats because it's
definitely.
more for me than anything.
Okay, and definitely a moment for me to tap in. I definitely love it, and I'm gonna be here. Every
Yeah.
Monday I can be here, okay?
Mhm.
Making sure we show up for each other, making sure we show up for
Exactly.
you guys, and I just hope that this is benefiting you guys because 'cause I've
Mhm.
heard many people say that it is beneficial to them, so I want you to comment below. Let us
Yeah.
know how the self-love chats have helped you or something you would like to hear, and we're here to help you, we're here to support you. We're a sisterhood.
So, one of the biggest lies ambitious women believe is that if they were really meant for more, it would feel easier. How many have you felt that? I know you felt that.
Why is it so hard?
Why is it
Why
so
is
hard?
it
Why
so
can't it just
hard?
be easy?
Why do look, and then before you knew how before I was in a healing space, I was like, "Why is it so easy for everybody else?" Blaming it, trying to understand, like, why is it so easy for me? Man, it was a
Mhm.
ooh-wee.
Man, I just watched this reel earlier today, and this could be a whole nother self-love chat. She talked about she's in the manifestation space, and she talked about confidence and how having like watching other people be confident, and then you either one, you're like super like proud of them and want to be like them and figure out how are they so confident, how are they this XYZ, or we're a mirror and it triggers you. And so when you see that it's easy for everyone else, when you see them doing that over there, it triggers and you makes them like be a hater and like
Mhm.
why are they like that? And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a good conversation." So that's going to
Yeah.
be a whole other conversation. But I was like, I feel that way sometimes when I think we have to have that honest conversation when you're seeing the people who are successful, when they're making $1 million in 2 months, when they're doing all of the things. One, they could be lying, or two, it makes you triggered. Why is it so hard for me? But they have it so easy. And you have to self-reflect on that and sometimes look inward of like, why, what is this bringing up for me right now? And why is this
Yeah.
triggering me? And I'm like, oh man, that's a really good conversation. So that will be, take a look out for next week. That'll be next week's
Mhm.
conversation. But for right now, we're going to be talking about ambition and how does ambition work? Because that's not how ambition works, right? When we just are instantly successful. And
Mhm.
ambition doesn't disappear when you're scared, it shows up with fear. What most women call self sabotage is actually hesitation. And
Mm.
hesitation isn't a character flaw, it's protection. If your nervous system's saying, if I move and fail, what does that say about me? So instead, you wait, you research, you think, you plan, and months or years go by. How many of us have so many ideas of, oh, that was my idea. I know my one that I always talk about is I had started Instacart before Instacart was a thing. I had all the ideas. We had the whole thing mapped out, but guess what? We sat on it and we didn't do it. We hesitated and we waited and we let all of the things that come up in your mind stop you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Man, I'm telling you, I have been there, and your nervous system literally is basically trying to protect you because you're so used
Yeah.
to not taking that leap of faith and actually believing in yourself. Actually, if you
Mhm.
want to say that, like it's actually you not being able to let go, and
Mhm.
that's man, that's something. It's hard to work past. That's something we're all still working past, trying to move out of that situation, right? Because we don't want to feel fail. We're scared
Mhm.
to fail, right? And really, what happens if you fail? You just hurt your own feelings, right? Like if you really
Right.
think about it, you gotta ask yourself, like, what really happens if I fail? Like nothing really. We're not in school anymore. Like we just have to dust yourself off and try again, right? If you're
Mhm.
really for it, right? Like so I've seen it so often, like even with myself, women put so much pressure on themselves to do it perfectly, to have the right plan, the right timing, the right confidence. And underneath that pressure is fear, is the fear of being seen, or you know what I mean? The fear
Mhm.
of being seen and the
That part.
fear of disappointing themselves, the fear of wanting something too much that you don't think you're
Mhm.
worthy of. And at the end of the day, if you want it, you're worthy of it because you
100%.
said just you want it. Like at the it's nothing could change that. You're worthy of it because you said you wanted it. And I know it sounds so like that's it. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And you have to believe that.
100%. This is like such a there's so many things intertwined in this that I've worked with clients on of the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of money, the fear of being successful, the fear of doing something and it working, the fear of doing something and it not working. And so all of these conversations, let me know in the chat which one do you fear the most and do you need help with? And we'll make sure that we order them in the priority of who's struggling with what. And
Mhm.
this is where self love and ambition actually meet. Because do you have self love with yourself when you're doing this? I tell my clients all the time it's best to fail fast. Because when you fail fast, you're getting that momentum, you're moving. Because have you ever heard a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest? And
Mhm.
so when we're overthinking and we're playing this self all the time in our mind, and it's also a lot, I can't remember the one, I'll have to find it, but the further away you get from like that excited feeling of something, the more you talk yourself out of doing it.
Mhm.
And let me know in the chat, had you had a good idea? You're like all gung ho. Maybe it's the gym. Maybe it's learning this new thing. Maybe it's doing that over there. And you get all you're like, I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. I'm going to start this routine. I'm going to do all the things. But then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna start Monday. I'm gonna start the
Mhm.
first month or the first day of the next month. January 2027 is my year." Right? And so because the truth is, you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you believe you're allowed to be. You bring in what you believe you're allowed to be, the action
Mhm.
that you take, the aligned actions, what we talk about inside Becoming Her, of being able to know what you want and then taking the action to doing the things. Your self concept is the silent story you carry about who you are. If you see yourself as someone who tries, you'll try. You'll wake up at the 4 a.m. You'll go to the gym. You'll do the things. You'll take the twerk
Mhm.
class. You'll do the stretch class. You'll do the thing that you want to do. But if you see yourself as someone who decides, you'll move. You'll actually move. You decided, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to stop until I do this. And that's the thing that what do I say all the time, Shakisha? You are one decision away from a completely different life.
Yep.
And if you decide today, I have to figure out what decide means to cut off from anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else.
It's making that clear cut decision. Immediately saying,
Exactly.
"This is what I'm gonna do." Nothing can change the way I feel. You already know nothing can change the
Yeah,
way I feel about what is going on. This is what it's gonna be.
yeah,
I've decided. And it's a clear
exactly.
cut decision, literally.
Mhm. Exactly. And this is why so many capable women feel stuck. Their desires have outgrown their identity. You want
Mhm.
more. You want to have a life that is outside of what you currently are in. And instead of changing your identity to the person who has that new thing, you stay stuck where you're at. And that's where this friction inside your body comes from.
Mm,
And no amount of motivation can override a self concept that says, this might not be for me.
mm,
Because
mm.
I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. When I moved to Georgia, we packed up our car. We didn't have any place to stay. We had an Airbnb booked for a couple of weeks. And we were like, we moved from Michigan to Georgia after we got married. And we're like, we're going to make this work. We became the identity of the person who doesn't live in Michigan in cold weather.
You said I'm not doing that no more. Ah, no, that's right. You were notice basically noticing how you can feel the tension in our bodies, okay?
Oh,
You
yes.
noticing how everything is tight, noticing how everything is tense, based off the decisions that we make or
Hmm.
us saying that this might not be for me or accepting that fact, not making that decision and actually deciding what you want to do and what's for you. We tend to hold that in our body. So in certain moments we notice everything is tight, right? Your shoulders are tight, your chest isn't open. You don't feel any relief, you feel resistance.
Hmm.
There's no right reaction. It's your body giving you information basically. All of these feelings is your body telling you like I might not be comfortable in this situation, but that's okay. It's our job to let our nervous system know that everything is okay. We are making new decisions, stepping into a new line of sight that we see for ourselves. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to want more. And in the Becoming Her program, we teach you how to shift your nervous system to where you feel comfortable stepping into this confidence, stepping into this light, and knowing that you deserve more. And everything, when you decide that you want more, we show you how you're going to get more.
Amen. 100%. 100%. Because you have to decide. It starts with that decision, and you have to be able to. This is why, and I had a client just tell me the other day. She said to me, Teresa, I didn't realize that embodiment work was so important of the entrepreneurial journey. And I said, this is the people who don't do the embodiment work are the ones who aren't successful because you have to. If you have all of these limiting beliefs, if you have all this old programming, if you have all of these things in going on, you will hold yourself back. You will
Mhm.
stop. You will fail. You will be afraid of failure, which if you're afraid of I think of being afraid of failure is the number one reason why people don't do anything, because they don't do anything because they don't want to be looked at as a failure. They don't want to post on Instagram because they got one like. They don't want to,
Yeah.
or they have no comments, and they don't want to post on YouTube because they're afraid that they aren't going to get the subscribers. And here's the thing, a year is going to pass whether you do it or not. But guess what? If you actually do the things, do you think you're going to get closer to the outcome that you want to have versus not doing the
Versus
things?
not doing the things.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's I just want to shake people sometime of just do it. Just do it. If you have a passion, if you had put it was put on your heart to do this thing, then just do it, because I want to share something
Yeah.
personal here. There was a time when I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I kept stopping myself right before committing. You've heard this so many times, Keisha, with me, is that, and I want you to tell something as well of, I know when at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I had a really, really hard time in the beginning. And I would get a little bit of momentum and then I would stop and something bad would happen. And then I would do a little bit more and then I would stop. And then I would do a little bit more and then I would stop. And so all that momentum I built up came crashing down. Think of it as like me pushing a boulder up a rock, or a boulder up a mountain. And every time I get so close, I would get in my head, and then I'm at the bottom of the mountain again. I was at the bottom of the mountain again. Have you ever felt that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been my thing was mostly just trying to start off in my space and seeing so many people were in the same space that I was in. And
Mm,
just like, well, maybe I can't do this because everybody's doing it, but so what? You know how many people sell paper? You know how many see people sell toilet paper? Like, okay. Okay, you know how many
exactly.
people sell, Kleenex, wipes, cups, all the same brand, all the same styles, other than a quick different
Mhm.
design to make sure you don't get in trouble. At the end of the day, no one's gonna be you like you.
Exact Ooh, that part. No
Yeah,
one is going to be you like you.
okay? No one's gonna brand whatever you have to offer like
Mhm,
you have. Nobody has that je ne sais quoi that you have, okay?
mhm.
As they
Exactly.
say, like you are the brand. What
Mm,
you have to offer is the brand. So you can be everybody else can have that same idea, but it took me to realize at the end of the day, I am me, and I know I had to put my confidence on and know that I can do what I want to do, and I
yeah,
have something that the world wants to see. So let's do it. You know?
exactly. And that's the positive thing. I think especially in the day and age of AI and everything that's going on, the only thing that's gonna make you different is who you are.
Hmm.
And people connect, and that's why when you're scrolling on on Reels, and you have your favorite influencers that you watch, is because a lot of the time you connect to them because of their story, who they are, how they show up, how they talk to you, and the fact that they're consistent. Because if they
Yep.
stop showing up, you're gonna forget about them, right?
Facts.
And I know I struggled with the whole thing on repeat of, "Who do you think you are to do this?" And I still struggle with this. Imma let you know, I may show up, I may keep coming on here and doing the things, but it's not because it's easy. Let
Hmm.
me just let that be known. I'd rather be downstairs eating dinner with my family right now. I'd rather be doing other things, but I want to make sure that we make a big impact in this world, and
Yep.
this is what lights me up, and this is why, and I have to not think about what if this doesn't work. I can't have that in my mind, because like attracts like, and what you put out there is what comes back. And
Yeah.
so I had to really shift it to, what if I try it and that proves I wasn't who I thought I was? What if you just try? And so I want you to know that nothing changed externally for me. I didn't just randomly become a million subscriber influencer and then I'm finally moved and I'm finally doing the things. When when I finally moved, what changed in me was internal.
Mhm,
I burned my boats. I'm saying, nope, I want this and this is what I'm on and this is what I'm going after. And so I want you to stop negotiating, and I had to, and I want you to, if this is something you struggle with, negotiating with the voice that question your worth.
mhm, 'cause we don't like that voice.
We don't like that voice.
It's
I don't
actually
want you
you
to.
know what? I'm actually be
Yeah.
honest with you. It's not
Mhm.
that we don't wanna hear that voice, but the voices the past you who didn't believe, okay? So sometimes you
Mhm.
gotta shut that damn voice up.
Shut that
Sometimes
voice
you
up.
gotta tell yourself I saw a meme the other day, and this girl said, she said, "Sometimes I be thinking negative, and sometimes I gotta tell myself to shut up." Because you gotta do that sometimes, and that's what it
Mhm.
is. You gotta knock that voice down and let it know who running okay?
Exactly. That part. That part. Because that's the thing, you're not gonna feel ready. Don't tell
Mhm,
yourself you don't feel ready. Tell yourself that you do feel ready. I don't feel confident. I didn't feel confident. Tell yourself you are confident, or tell yourself the thing that that does make sense. Maybe it's you don't feel confident right now, but I'm on my path to learning and bringing in
mhm,
confidence.
yep,
Or I don't feel ready. I don't feel ready right now.
but I'm working towards the steps to move forward in that direction, okay?
100%. And so I want let us all put in the chat right now. I am deciding I am done abandoning myself. I am done abandoning myself.
That's very powerful,
Mhm.
okay? And it's not don't just make it a statement.
Mhm.
Don't make it an action. Make it something you're going to do. Make sure that when you say it, you're channeling that energy deep into your heart and you're believing it full fledged because you're done. We're done letting go. We're done holding back. We're done playing small. It's time to step forward and believe in ourselves, okay? Because
Mhm.
me and Teresa, the reason we are here is because we do the work, okay? Yes, we got husbands, we got lives too. We rather
Yeah.
be out chilling and stuff, but we want to share something and make an impact with women who are trying to step like we had, and we're still growing too. So we're moving towards the next step in our dream life. So we want the people who are scared to hop off of the. We got the net to catch you. We scared, confident, and come on over to the side, baby. We want you here. We want you
We give
here. We want
hugs.
to support you. Okay, and it's this is so much important. It's such an important distinction. Confidence
Mhm.
doesn't come before action.
Mm-mm.
Action is what teaches your nervous system that you're safe to trust yourself. Love isn't waiting until you feel self love isn't waiting until you feel fearless. It's moving gently, even while you're scared towards that.
100%.
And we just want to get into a quick embodiment session before we hop off. We got time, right, Teresa? We got time?
Mhm.
Okay, so I just want to pause here and bring all of this out of the mind and into the body. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about what we think we should do, what we want to move towards, and how we should think and things we need to in order to reframe our nervous system. But let's bring everything back into the body because we thought about a lot of things. Right? Wherever you are, I want you to let yourself arrive in this moment right here. Take a deep breath in through the nose slowly and exhale through the mouth with an audible sigh. One more time, big deep breath in through the nose, allowing the breath of life to enter and exhale through the mouth with an audible sigh. If it feels comfortable to you, I want you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Notice your breath for a moment as it returns to its normal breathing pattern. No changing it yet, just noticing it. Your breath, you're breathing right now. You didn't have to earn it. You didn't have to deserve it. It's simply here. Take a slow, deep breath in through the nose again. Feel your chest rise and your belly expand and hold it at the top. And gently exhale through your mouth, releasing the weight of expectations. Inhale again. The breath of life coming in and filling your lungs, and exhale with gratitude as it comes out. Return to a normal breathing pattern, and with each inhale, silently say to yourself, I am here. With each exhale, silently say, and that is enough. There's nothing to fix in this moment, nothing to rush, nothing to prove. Just you being held by your breath. Now bring your awareness to your body and notice where you feel supported right now. The chair, the floor, the ground beneath you, and let yourself feel safety being here in this exact moment, within this exact breath. And from this place, gently offer yourself these words out loud or in your mind. I am grateful for the breath moving through me. I am grateful that I am still here. I am grateful that I can begin again. Now softly say, I am becoming the kind of woman who trusts herself. Don't force belief. Don't rush agreement. Just notice what your body does when you hear it. Maybe it's warmth, maybe it's resistance, maybe it's emotion, but all of it is welcome. Take one more slow, deep breath in and a full cleansing exhale out. When you're ready, gently release your hands and softly say out loud or in your mind, again, I am becoming the kind of woman who trusts herself. I hope you feel good. I feel so good.
Mhm. Same, same. It's always what I need right before I go to bed.
Yes.
I swear.
Yes.
This is why we do self-love chats on Monday nights, because you have Monday that is stressful and
Get you through the
this
rest of that week.
and make sure to save this so that you can come back to this and subscribe and make sure that we are here for you every single Monday. That is for sure.
Definitely.
And we want to also let you know that if this conversation stirs something in you, if you recognize yourself here, I want you to trust that awareness. This work we go deeper into inside of our free live training that we are doing this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, the 6 steps to becoming her. I am so excited. It's not motivational. It's practical identity work. If you feel the pull, the link will be in the description below. And if today was enough, that's okay too. Just make sure to like and
Yes.
subscribe.
Please do join us. We are excited to see you in the program, in the webinar, all of the above,
Yep.
because you don't need to rush. You don't need to prove
Mhm.
anything. Just honor what came up for you today. And we will see you next time for our self love chats on Mondays
See you next week. Bye.
or Thursday.
Thursday. We'll see you Thursday.
See you